Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, man, Jeff Trunipole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the Cincinnati Bengals, Cincinnati Bearcats, and the Cincinnati Reds. Now, do me a favor, if you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I am not only on YouTube now, I am on Rumble. We're all live streaming on Twitter. We're live streaming on Facebook. So do me a favor, hit those thumbs up, share it, tell everybody about Sports with Strawberry Ice. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from this glorious place down here. It's the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And, you know, we hit the jackpot when we drafted Joe Burrow. Like I said, I think we hit the jackpot despite how Jake played last week, but we hit the jackpot when we signed Jake Browning. Anyway, if you guys want any of the Jackpot Joey gear, the flag, which is down here, which you can't see it, the signs, the hats, any of that stuff right now, or the beer, which is all over the studio. It's right in front of me. It's delicious and award-winning. Go to Brick Brewery. You can order it there. Or, that's for the beer. If you want any of the stuff, go right there to jackpotjoey9.com. Remember, portion of the proceeds go to the Joe Burrow Foundation. Sorry, guys, I'm a little discombobulated. Second time in the new studio. So I am trying out new things, like I said. Hopefully, if you guys are checking me out for the first time on Rumble, what is up? What's up, everybody in the chat? Tebow's in there. What's up, man? Joey Carr, who day? My boy Joey Carr. This dude has hooked me up. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up here. Timmy, what's up? Roller coaster year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Crip and Pork Chop. Jeff, I like the new stuff. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm probably going to copyright it because I forgot to put this. I got to go to the YouTube, hopefully before they copyright me, and put for the new music I have. We actually bought it, but I got to put the description in the YouTube chat, and I haven't done that yet. So YouTube, please don't copyright me because I'm going to do it here eventually. I just haven't done it yet. Anyway, so this will be a year in review. Let's get to my guest. I didn't see this is kind of so off. There it is. My guest, my buddy Joe. I met him this year. He's from the Riverfront. He does the Riverfront Bengals show. He's been a good dude. He's been able to come on my show almost anytime I ask him. Maybe he has no life or he really likes hanging out with me, or I don't know. Maybe he's just a crazy dude. Let's get to Joe. What is up, Joe?
My wife makes me come on just so I don't have to talk sports to her every day.
Hey, it works, man. Whatever. It works for me. So
now, and also I don't have a life. So that's, most of those are true.
Neither do I. That's why I've been down here working on this. Actually, I have to give a shout out to Austin, my daughter's boyfriend. He's the one that set up all this stuff. I mean, I did all this stuff yesterday, and some of this stuff over here. But he did all the desk and everything else. So shout out to him for helping me out.
Only way I think that you can make the only improvement I think that would make it better is if you could put some just to block out that guy wearing the 513 hat. Is there a blur or an edit or something that you can do to?
We might be able to figure that out. Who knows?
Cool.
So, how has your year been? What any highlights you want to talk about before we get into? We can do the Bengals Chiefs preview or anything like that. You got any highlights of the year that stand out for you?
You're the highlight of my year. Just being able to hang out, come hang out with you in person on here, and it's. I don't know.
That's a sucky highlight if I'm it.
I'm a lifelong Cincinnati, and I'm not used to highs, and we didn't really get many highs. So, if anything, I'd have to say FC Cincinnati because they truly ingrained themselves in the Cincinnati community. As good as they were in the regular season, like they won the Supporter Shield, and then like a true Cincinnati institution, they shit the bed when it came time to. I know. When push comes to shove, so they are truly they're one. Where's the meme? Like the one of us. Yeah. They're one of us. We accept you.
I literally said that. I think the week before or 2 weeks before when Richard Skinner was on my show, and I said they're going to be such a Cincinnati thing for them to go all the way to. The chance to make it to the championship or go to the championship and lose.
Yep.
I literally said that. Of course, the Columbus comes and beats us. I won't say kick their ass, but they beat us, and then they go on to win the whole damn thing, which I was so. I just started getting into soccer this year. I mean, it was. I admit it. I don't. I'm slow to come around to it. I still don't understand all the rules, but watching a team that has Cincinnati on their chest and win a lot, kind of makes it a lot more fun. But that was kind of for me the highlight team so far this year was the Cincinnati Reds. Now Bengals, who knows? Maybe Jake Browning will take us to the Super Bowl. I don't know. We'll see. But as of right now, it's Cincinnati Reds because it was completely unexpected watching all those young guys come up and be just as good as they were. Watching Ellie De La Cruz be the most electrifying man in baseball, what made the summer so much more fun, and it made it go by faster. I thought, Joe, because the year before that we lost 100 games. Oh my goodness, when is football starting? I cannot freaking wait. I was checking out anything the Bengals did. I barely even did a Reds show. If I did, it was complaining about them, and I don't like doing shows like that because it just depresses me. Because the beginning of the year I was ticked off, last year, and at the beginning of this year. I'm like, we're whatever. We're not gonna do anything. But and my son goes, no, I think we're gonna be good. And this was before any of the guys came up. And shout out to my son, he was right. We were good, but I'm not gonna give him that much credit. He didn't know that Ellie was gonna be this good. Matty Batts was gonna come up. CES, Abbott was gonna come up. Steer was gonna be as good as he was. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, dude. Of how many players came up this year, and damn it, if our starting pitching staff could at least stayed healthy, we would have went to the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if they wouldn't have given Luke Weaver 21 starts.
Dream Weaver. Every time you say that, I gotta sing.
I should know that by now, and blessed America. Anyway, yeah. I'm a bigger. I host the Bengals show, but I'm a bigger baseball fan than a football fan. Much bigger Reds fan than Bengals fan. Having something to actually root about. My birthday's in mid-August, and them still being relevant from my birthday forward is fantastic. And I don't want to just get through the season just to get to football season.
Right. Yep.
They were meaningful games the last week. Yeah, it was unlikely. Come the last week of the season, they were going to make the playoffs, but up until Saturday, the very next to last day of the season, they were still alive. So that's they were a fun team to watch, an easy team to root for. America's team is Luke Maley so kindly named them.
That guy died though. I mean, they were saying that a lot in the middle of the season. I didn't really hear him say that in the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean it helps when you're winning 12 games in a row, and then when everyone gets hurt and you kind of peter out in the in the heat of this August summer, kind of goes away, but. Fun team, and they give you something to look forward to and something to dream about. I mean, there's a future there. It's not like you're hoping that these guys came up. No, a bunch of guys came up and they performed. Now you're just hoping that they can seal the deal and make some more acquisitions between now and pitchers and catchers reporting.
I got this new camera here on an arm. This is where I wish I had a button I could zoom it in a little bit more to myself. I need that button. I don't have that here. Let's get to Tebow's. So yeah, you guys can do what Tebow did here. You got to leave your comments and your highlights. Tebow says one of my favorite highlights this year was getting the opportunity to get out of here to meet Jeff the Iceman and plenty of other Bengals fans I haven't met up until this year. Been a great year in that aspect. Hey, it was awesome meeting you, Tebow. If I'm the highlight, then hopefully there's a better highlight next year. But no, I appreciate it. I mean. Tebow's a great dude, and it was a lot of fun meeting him. Now, Paul Painter here. This one I said me talk about. Cruz has to move to center, which it still can happen. But I mean, I'm still holding out hope that the Reds are going to make a trade for a starting pitcher at least. I mean, we're a couple days away from January.
Yeah,
and nothing's happened yet. So, you got your finger on the pulse more than I do as far as the Reds offseason. Have you heard anything of anybody?
Not really in terms of a starter. There's a lot of rumors about Yariel Rodriguez, who's a Cuban, but has been pitching in NPB in Japan. Reds are in on him. The problem is there's about 3 or 4 teams on him that want him as a starter, 3 or 4 teams that see him as a reliever. I think he had a 1.15 ERA as a reliever. Shutdown. I mean, absolute lights out shutdown reliever. The Reds are one of the teams that look at him as a reliever, which is probably smart in my estimation. So he's probably going to sign with someone that gives him a chance to start. You're going to make more money that way.
All right.
Apparently the Blue Jays have kind of taken the lead, but he's going to make his decision here in a couple days. It's been quiet in terms of, I mean, I haven't heard anything about guys like Marcus Stroman, even guys like Lucas Giolito, who's a little bit down the pecking order, and the trade market is just, I mean, it's a ghost town. You're seeing tumbleweed just rolling through the MLB trade rumors. It's somebody do something.
I saw something exactly. I saw something on Twitter that I can't remember who put it out there. But it was something about the Reds. I can't remember who they would give up, but they would get Shane Bieber and Cleveland's ace reliever. Did you see that one at all?
Yeah, it's they're talking about possibly adding Emmanuel Clase to the package with Shane Bieber to get a bigger return, and I'd absolutely be in.
Yeah, I'm down for that. 2 pitchers, hell yeah.
I mean, the guy throws. I mean, he's got a 102 mile an hour. I think it's a cutter or maybe it's a sinker. It's not just a straight 4-seamer. Just absolute. Just has some blow away stuff. And as much as I love Alexis Diaz, I think he'd be so much better as the 8th inning as the setup guy and have Clase as the as your closer. But either way, even if they do it the other way around.
Well, the thing is, if you have something like my favorite team all the time was the 1990 team with the Nasty Boys. Then Randy
you had
Myers,
3 guys, yeah.
Yeah, Randy Myers was quote unquote the closer, but Dibble closed out sometimes, Charlton closed out sometimes.
Yeah.
If you can get something like that where, all right, say Diaz is quote unquote the closer. Well, you can let this other guy close too. If you can get is he left-handed or right-handed, by the way?
He's right-handed.
All right, so if you get a left-hander, you have 2 or no, Diaz is left-handed, isn't he?
That's righty.
He's right. All right, so
he's ready.
So if you get a left-hander in there, you have something close to what the Reds had in 1990 would be unfreaking believable. And I will take that. And like I said, I always say this: pitching. You can never have enough pitching. If you can go get a starter like Shane Bieber, which I am all for, and add a shutdown relief pitcher, I might say sign me up for some Reds playoff tickets.
Yeah, if you're able to get, I mean, Bieber isn't the ace that he was a couple years ago when he won the Cy Young, and a lot of his metrics have kind of shown that he might be coming back to earth. But I mean, just a middle of the rotation guy, and that's another guy who can pitch 150 plus innings. That isn't Brett Kennedy, although they just brought him back on a minor league deal. Just the list of names of the scrubs that the Reds brought in just to try to fill innings. If you can get that with somebody who's a legitimate good pitcher, doesn't even have to be a stud. And then, bringing back just an absolute hammer for the back end of your bullpen, whether it's, your 8th inning guy, your 9th inning guy. I hate there being a designated closer. The 3 most important outs.
I don't. I mean, I like that. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just old. But I know where you're going.
Yeah,
I know where you're going.
You're absolutely old. But the most important out is the next guy.
Yeah.
Whether that's in the 6th inning, if it's a 1-run game, if you're up by 1 run in the 6th inning, and they've got 2 on, and Shohei Ohtani's coming up for the Dodgers, that's more important than having a 3-run lead in the 9th when you're facing 7, 8, 9.
But there's something to this though. Some guys cannot pitch in the 9th inning, no matter what it is, because it's the 9th inning. I mean, I think and some guys can only pitch in the 9th inning, like Raciel Iglesias. I think David Bell tried to move him around, and he couldn't do it. He
struggled.
Yeah, he only pitched in the 9th inning.
And that's why I hate Tony La Russa, because he's the one that really started just this absolute 1-inning role with Dennis Eckersley.
Yep.
And it's built up so much as the 9th inning is the inning. Like that's where your hammer goes. It shouldn't be that way. Like, if that's where it comes, if you need that hammer in the 9th inning, absolutely. An out in the 9th inning counts the same as an out in the 1st inning. A run in the 1st inning is the run in the 9th inning. Like every out is important. Don't sacrifice bringing in hell, I'm trying to think some awful reliever the Reds had last year. I mean, most of them. What's that?
Ian Jabot.
I mean, Jabot scared the hell out of me, but his numbers were decent, like Buck Farmer too. Like these guys look terrible, and you're looking like they've actually pitched pretty well.
Let's talk about that. I'm happy they brought Buck Farmer back. I thought he had a pretty damn good year for us. He pitched a lot of important innings for us. I mean, I'm surprised he still got an arm as much as David Bell used him. But what's your thoughts on Buck Farmer?
Yeah, if he's pitching the bridge innings to get from the starter to your lockdown guys, absolutely. I don't trust him as that guy to come in high leverage spots. But if you can get him as a bridge, then absolutely. I mean, he got a lot of clutch outs for the Reds in a role that he wasn't necessarily suited for. So I'm, absolutely, that's fine with me.
Yeah,
but they still need more.
Yeah, I was happy to see him back. Yeah, I do agree that they need more. Because like I said, you can never have enough pitches. Just look what happened last year. Now, go back to your thing with Shane Bieber. No, he's not the Shane Bieber a couple years ago. But the thing that I think this young pitching staff needs is that veteran leader, that guy who can show them how to become major league pitchers. You know, what it takes to ramp yourself up for big games and pull back. I guess for not so big games. You know what it takes to do that stuff, because we got guys who can pitch. I mean, Hunter can pitch, Lodelo can pitch, Ashcraft can pitch, Abbott can pitch. All four of those guys can pitch. We know they can pitch up here. Yeah. They have to be able to do it consistently and stay healthy doing it. And any guy like Shane Bieber, I think, could help. Because I just remember Johnny Cueto, when we had him, how he helped the young guys that were coming up then, and what a leader he was on the pitching staff. That's what I think we need. We got guys who can pitch. They just haven't done it yet.
Well, I think a lot of it also, on top of that, is just having that guy to model yourself after. I mean, he's pitched 6 seasons in the majors right now, and he's pitched 200 innings twice. He only pitched 128 this last year, but I mean,
but nobody pitches that many innings anymore. So I mean, that's where if you get a starter who goes 5 innings, you're shocked anymore.
I'll give me 6 guys that you can count on for 160, 170 innings, and you've got a pretty good rotation. The problem is when the Reds had nobody. I mean, the Reds had Graham Ashcraft led the team, and he didn't throw enough innings to qualify for any of the stat leaderboards.
Right.
And again, that's because of injuries and more than anything else. But the guys that filled in just weren't good enough, and that's why keep adding starters. Yeah, I like Brandon Williamson. I like Connor Phillips. I like those guys. I like them a lot better if they're the depth coming in if somebody gets hurt, as opposed to them being the back end, and then you're trying to rush Chase Petty, or you're trying to bring someone that's just that's just a scrub that you have on the scrap heap down in Louisville.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, I would use Connor Phillips as one of those trade bait guys too, to get us a better starting pitcher. I mean, like you'd be talking about this a million times on here. We got so many guys down in the minors. I'd rather keep our pitchers. I'd rather trade some of our infielders to get this starting pitcher that I want, but I am willing to give them up because, like I keep saying, this window for the Reds is now. With the way the structure of these contracts, everybody's on rookie deals.
Yeah,
Lyles contract's gone. This last year, Ken Griffey Jr.'s. This is the time to do it. Strike now before these guys start going into arbitration and all this stuff. And maybe, hopefully, the Reds are smart and sign a couple of them like they did Hunter Green.
Yeah,
some contract extensions before they hit arbitration. But that's where I'm at. Like, now's the time to do it. Like, that's where I'm starting to get a little worried, because I thought for sure we would have done something already, and we haven't. Like I said, we're a couple of days away from January. So are you getting worried that we might not get a starting pitcher?
Not yet, because there's still a lot of guys out there. It's not as if the well's drying up. There aren't a lot of moves being made, which is kind of frustrating because we're almost 2 months into the hot stove. And yeah, the huge ticket items have gone. Shohei is taken care of. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has been signed, but there's still a lot of guys that. What's that?
Gesundheit.
Thank you very much. There's still a lot of quality free agents out there, and it's when those guys start, when Marcus Stroman starts going off the board, when guys down the road, down the list like Giolito starts getting signed, and the Reds are still making these back end deals instead, that's when you start getting concerned. Right. But I mean, Cody Bellinger is going to sign a gigantic deal with somebody, not as big as I think he wants, but there's still plenty of guys. Like, nobody has really. There's plenty there. We'll put it that way. I'm not saying the Reds are going to. I'm less confident they're going to make a gigantic. They're going to make a big splash, but there's still there's no reason to panic.
The two other Glass now, that Bieber and the guy for the White Sox, who's the pitcher?
Cease.
Yeah, Dylan Cease. Those two are still there. Those are two names that we've heard the most. Other than Glass now. Glass now went to the Dodgers. Those two guys are still there, so there's still a chance.
Yeah,
that this could happen. I get the Keeper's comment here. He said, come back up there. He says, from the outside looking, and being a Reds fan from South Carolina, I think he's from Myrtle Beach. Those guys from Myrtle Beach. I
spent a lot of time in Myrtle Beach. That's my wife's best friend lives out there. It's an awesome place.
It's a great place. That's where my daughter's boyfriend runs. He's over there. So I was messing with him.
Yeah. What's the Huntington State Park? That's an awesome place to go where it's not as crowded too. You go to the beach down there.
Oh, I have not been there. I have to check that out when we go down there next time.
It's cool.
So he's wrestling from South Carolina. Is this the year to review my TV baseball ticket?
Oh, the MLB.TV MLB.TV package.
Yeah. If you're wanting to watch the Reds, I would, because I think the Reds are going to be pretty darn good. Well, they were fun to watch last year, especially if they get a starting pitcher or two and another relief pitcher. Yeah, it's going to be a real fun year, I think.
If you're looking just for a fun team to watch, it's just for an entertaining team, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no promises they're going to be content. They're going to be
just to watch
winning 95 games, but exactly. You don't know. I mean, he can go 0 for 4, strike out, 4 times, and get hit by a pitch, and on that hit by pitch, he's going to steal 2 bases or do something just absolutely stupid, throwing the ball 150 miles an hour on a relay throw, and you're like, holy shit, did I just see that? And like, absolutely worth just watching. This isn't like the Reds from early 2000s when they were terrible, and you'd see guys hit hit a couple home runs, and then it'll be boring. Like, they're entertaining. There's a lot of guys that are going to do some exciting, entertaining stuff.
Exactly.
And like Joey put here, Matt McClain is absolutely probably the guy see him build off of last year's season, come back after the injury. So
that was his follow up to this. So who are you most stoked to watch? He said Matt McClain.
Or Marte.
I'm really excited. Marte, Ellie, and Matty. Those are the 3 for me.
Yeah,
Marte, because I think he just started scratching the surface, and that's where when we signed Candelario, everybody's like, "Oh, well, maybe we're going to trade Marte." They're not. They will not trade Marte. I think Marte could be an all-star stud at third base. I mean, he could legitimately be the starter for the all-star team for the next 10 years or more. I think he could be that Gold Glove third baseman. I mean, he can hit you third.
Manny Machado.
Yes, exactly. He's our Manny Machado. You don't trade that guy. You don't trade. You don't trade him. You don't trade Hill. You don't trade Matty. They're already up there. That's what I'm saying. Don't trade them. The guys that are minors, I'd trade those guys. Those are the ones.
If you're going to trade those guys, you better as hell get something that's you better as hell get a legitimate ace, not just a Shane Bieber type. You need a legitimate number one guy's going to be out there every fifth day, better than the other team's number one.
Exactly. All right, let's get the pause here. If the Reds are going to stand pat on the starting pitchers, they better be able to score and have knockout D. Well, if I'm gonna put it this way, the infield, yes, we're gonna have really good defense in the infield. The outfield, I don't know, because you're gonna have Steer out there. I think Steer's an okay outfielder. I mean, yes, you go by metrics.
He needs reps. Yeah, I think he'll be a lot better with the more reps of being out there.
He's never going to be a Gold Glover. I'll put you. He's going to get into the balls he can get to. TJ Friedel, I think, is an excellent center fielder. Now,
absolutely.
Now the right field's the different. I don't know who they're going to put out there. If they're going to put Indy out there, CES,
Benson,
Benson Fraley. Those guys are great, but I mean they don't hit left-handers, so that's the problem with those two.
I bet only one of those guys are around next year because they're redundant. Benson or Fraley. One of the. I bet one of those guys will be dealt or something.
For the year starts or after this year?
424.
Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe one of the maybe they'll put them in one of the packages for a starting pitcher. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think they're a little too redundant. Like they're both good, useful players, and I'm happy as hell that they're on the team. But if you're gonna have Steer taking up most of the at bats in left field, which is fine, Indy is gonna be taking some spots. Obviously, your everyday center fielder is TJ Friedel. You don't need two left-handed platoon hitters to play, to command one position.
And then Jommer is going to be I think you're pretty much your starting first baseman. I mean, yeah, he'll play some third, but
first in DH mostly.
Yeah, he's first in DH, and I think Marte is. I think he's pretty much locked out third. They didn't move him last year. He could play shortstop. I think he plays second, but they didn't move him. Ellie, they moved from short to third. Matty went from short to second or second to short. So those are the ones that I think will move. India, like I said, I really am very leery to see him out in the outfield. I think he has a better shot of being halfway, somewhat decent at first. I know your feelings on India, or you want him on some other team, which he might be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also with the injuries he had, everything, he could come back and this be a comeback year for him. Which that could be a prediction we could do here. on the Reds team, I think there's two guys that have a shot of being comeback player of the year. One, Jonathan India, and another one's Tyler Stevenson. Both of them did not have great years last year. Both of them were coming back, having injury. India had an injury-filled year. Stevenson was coming back from his collarbone. Those two, out of those two, who would you think has a better shot of having the better year?
Stevenson, because he's going to get the at-bats. He's not going to be playing first base. He's not going to be playing DH much. They've got too many other guys that do that. Right. India, I'm just not convinced he's going to get a ton of at-bats, even if he's on the roster. Stevenson had a bad year, but the metrics don't look that much different than what than what they have been.
Right. I don't disagree with you. I was going to go Stevenson because of just what you said. I think he's going to be our number one catcher. The whole put him at first base is out the window. The second half of the year, they stopped doing it. India, yeah, I do think he's going to have a hard time getting at bats. That's why I do think they would like to trade him if they could. Or they do what I've said, and Paul's said on here too, move Ellie to center field and get India and McLean at
you've already got a Gold Glove center fielder. Why do you need to move Ellie to center field?
Because you don't have a right fielder. You can put him in. You can put TJ Friedel in left, and you move Steer to right. And you can have a Gold Glove center fielder or a Gold Glove left fielder.
Maybe, but you've got a Gold Glover in Friedel. You're going to make yourself weaker in a spot. You play him at short until he proves he can't play at short.
See, the thing is, I look at it this way. Like Ellie can play center field. He can play Gold Glove center
probably,
field.
Probably.
Matty Batu, I think you can play Gold Glove shortstop. India is what he is, but still up the middle, that is awesome, and that makes your outfield defense better. Because I am leery about our outfielder. I mean, hopefully these guys, whoever they put out there, one of the infielders, guy going in the outfield, one of them could actually play left or right field. That's yet to be seen because I think CES did it in the minors. I don't think he was all that good at it. India, I don't know if he's ever done it. I mean, who else are you moving out there? Those are the only two that I've heard them talking about. I've talked about Ellie. I haven't heard the Reds say it, but I've heard them say CES. I've heard them say India, and both those guys actually scare me. I'd rather have Ellie out in the outfield, to be honest.
They already came out and said that Ellie isn't going to be. He's not going to be working in the outfield at all this offseason. He's got enough on his plate working on hitting. The Reds hired him, or the Reds have a personal hitting coach that they hired for him to work in the offseason. He's not. They're not going to work on him in the outfield. The Reds have the smallest in terms of actual acreage, square footage, whatever the hell you want to say it. Their outfield is the smallest in all of Major League Baseball. So outfield defense, while it's important, it's less important for 81 games of the year. Plus, a lot of the parks in the NL Central are smaller. Pittsburgh's a little bit bigger, but Wrigley isn't that big. American Family isn't very big. St. Louis, I think it's kind of neutral. It's only when they go out to like the NL West, you get those huge ass ballparks to where it becomes a huge idea, or where it becomes a huge huge issue of having guys that are slow or have bad arms or just aren't, they take terrible angles. Doubles turn into triples.
I mean, I don't think the Reds are going to do it. I mean, I that's what I want them to do. I don't think they're going to do it. But and this is another Joe brings up a good one here. You guys, does India have the arm to play the outfield? That's the other thing. I'm like, I don't think he does have that either.
To be fair, I mean, if you ever watched Johnny Damon man left field when he was with the Red Sox and the Yankees, that guy, you saw me throw. Yes, I think I have a stronger arm than Johnny Damon does.
You might. Yeah, that was a very, very old.
And Jonathan India has a better arm than.
Which is funny. He played third base. He was the third baseman. So I don't know, but anyway, that's.
SEC is a hell of a lot different than the National League.
That is true. All right, so that's kind of the Reds. Let's do a Bengals Chiefs preview here. How are you feeling going into this game? I will tell you this. I 100% think Jamar Chase is playing. I 100% think he's playing. Jake Browning I don't think he's going to play as bad as he did. That was just an absolute awful. Just throwing that game away. Awful game. The Chiefs are not playing very well. Now, so I think my point, I think the Bengals can win. I'm not like 100% like, oh, yeah, we're going to go kick their ass because the Chiefs are playing bad. I was kind of like that last week. I think 100% we're going to go kick the Steelers' ass because they're playing awful. Well, the Steelers wouldn't played the best damn game they played in freaking 7 years against us and kicked our ass. So the Chiefs could easily turn around and do that. But I do have a good feeling that the Bengals can win this game going into I call it Browning head now, since Burrow head is he's not gonna play. So what's your thoughts of the Bengals Chiefs game?
Can they win? Yeah, absolutely. I think it really depends on. I put it this way: I'd feel a hell of a lot better if the Chiefs had won on Saturday or Sunday. My week has been so screwed up. Having Bengals play on back-to-back Saturdays, Christmas on Monday. Like we went out day drinking on Sunday, and like I have no idea what the hell day it is. I totally forgot that we had to record a show this week.
Night.
Yeah, it's Friday night, but anyway,
Friday,
last Friday we were. I was about two Woodfords in by now.
I know we're on the show.
I've drank a lot over like this Christmas break when my kids have been off school, and it's a feature. It's not a flaw. I'm not I'm okay with it. But
are you saying you have a problem?
No, but problem means that there's an issue with it. That there's a concern about it. Anyway,
okay.
So we had Skinny on our show today.
Yeah, Richard Skinner on our show.
We had Skinny on our show.
Oh, cool.
He was fantastic.
Did Sean said hi?
I did not, because I didn't want to have him jump off automatically.
He loves me. Hush. Okay.
Anyway, I mean, Bengals do have a chance. I'd feel better about the Bengals if the Chiefs won. I think you're going to have them playing desperate like the Steelers did last week. But the Bengals are also have their back up against the wall too, so they're going to have that. They're going to have to play desperate. Browning cannot play anywhere near as poorly as he did on Sunday. I think it comes down to turnovers. They make them take the ball away from you. Last year, Burrow threw an interception. Brian Cook, who, where'd Brian Cook go to high school? Boring. Where'd Brian Cook go to college? UC. We make ball players here, especially on your side of town.
Yeah, baby. West side, what up?
Regardless, that player intercepted Joe Burrow, but he made a play. Like, that wasn't a bad throw. That was a player making a play. If that's how the Chiefs get, or they strip somebody, they make a play, fine. You can't give them easy ones. Throw the ball into the end zone, into quadruple coverage because you didn't put enough on it trying to throw it out of bounds. Or the one that he threw to the linebacker because he didn't see him drop in the lanes. You cannot have those. The other one to Highsmith, and Skinny made the point that Highsmith just made a hell of a play. It was great play design, and didn't expect the edge rusher to drop into coverage. That's fine. Okay, that's someone making a play. Browning cannot give away turnovers like it's Christmas.
The awful one was the one he threw basically to the Steelers up for grabs in the end zone.
Yeah, it's chuck it to the sideline.
Well, that's what I think he was trying to throw it out of bounds. I don't know how
he was. He was trying to throw it through the end zone.
But he was okay. But he was out of the pocket. He could have just went and just threw it out, and he didn't have to. I mean,
he thought.
I don't know.
He thought, and in his press conference, he thought he threw it through the end zone. It wasn't until he heard the Chiefs fans, because he didn't even watch the pass. It wasn't until he heard the crowd react that he realized that it didn't actually make it through the end zone.
I was so angry at that game. I didn't watch any of the post game stuff. I was just like, you.
I didn't either. To me, the thing that made me mad, the thing that pissed me off the most, was the pass downfield to Yosavash. It's a questionable call. They called it a catch. They rush up to the line, and then he's checking. He's checking, right, and gave Tomlin enough time for someone to buzz down and tell him to challenge it. Just take a knee. I mean, and they have kill calls. Like they have calls for that situation where you snap it and you just hand it off, or something, just some quick thing just to get the ball off, even if you false start.
Zach Yoshivas there. Next time you catch the ball, just put the other hand up like this. Right. So
no toe and finger falling, like hitting at the same time.
Your arm up so you hit the ground, your feet are in. Because if he'd done that, it would have been a catch.
Yeah. And because Taylor he's a player's coach, like he jumped on the grenade, said like it was him. He was in his ear on the radio telling him to check into the play. I don't believe that for 1 second. I believe that was Browning trying to make a play, thinking that he's going to catch them off guard.
I don't know. You talk about the play after Yosivas? That's the one you're
talking about?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was reading comments, so it's hard to do two things at once sometimes. Yeah, he should have just hiked it. I'm sitting there going,
yeah.
Because honestly, I was pretty confident that Yoshi caught the ball in bounds. I'm like, oh, he's got 2 feet in. I wasn't paying attention to the timing of his arm until they did the replay. I'm like, oh crap! Honestly, it was so close.
I don't understand how you overturn that.
Yeah, it was so close. They could have just play stands as called. They could have easily done that. It's so freaking close.
It should have. There was nothing conclusive in that, but whatever.
Yeah, and that's what drives you nuts. They have that, play stands as called because it's not. Because I say it's got to be conclusive enough,
right?
I mean, honestly, if he makes that catch, they let that play go. It could change stuff. I mean, I think we'd just gotten the T touchdown. I don't think they had gotten the other touchdown yet. I'm trying to remember, but
they ended up. That's when they kicked the field goal, but they would have had it 1st and 10 at the 12 instead of back at the 34, which is where the play got called back to.
Yeah, that could have turned into a touchdown drive, and it could change the whole thing here. Let's get the Paul's here comment. He says, Joe, should the Bengals DBs play closer to the line and chuck the receivers, or are they that slow?
The Bengals DBs? No. I mean, Cam Taylor-Britt's going to be back.
Yes, and that's a huge thing. Juice back, baby.
He runs a 4-3, and DJ Turner runs a 4-2. Mm-hmm. Bengals secondary, and Dax Hill runs a 4-3. No, Bengals have one of the fastest secondaries in the NFL.
I said at the beginning of the year, this is one of the fastest secondaries in football.
Absolutely. Now, Mike Hilton is slow, and that's because Eric Bieniemy was great at what he does. He schemed up and kept scheming up ways to have Mike Hilton cover guys in the slot. Juju Smith-Schuster, he ended up having to cover Travis Kelce on some plays, and that's how they won the AFC Championship game last year, because Hilton does a lot of awesome things, but he's not a great man-to-man cover guy because he's 5'-3", and anybody tall enough to ride the big rides at Kings Island can go over his head and moss him.
Exactly.
So
Army here is checking in. Actually, he's right. I forgot about this. He said the call of the field was a catch. Then they say it wasn't clear enough. That doesn't make any sense. He's actually right. They did call it a catch at first.
Yeah, so, exactly. It was ruled a catch.
So they did actually overturn the call. I was wrong on that. So when I said they did call a stand, no, they actually overturned it.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't clear enough to do that. And I agree with what he's saying here. It was either way. I mean, it could have went. The thing is, it could have went either way, because I honestly could not tell if his hand hit the ground before his other foot did. I could. It was almost simultaneous. It
looked simultaneous, and by rule, if it's simultaneous, it's incomplete. But can you for sure tell me that not one blade of grass was under his toe before his finger touched one blade of grass? Like, you can't. So you can't overturn that. That's what it comes down to. Again, they got their asses handed to them. That one play didn't do anything, but it's just one of those frustrating, like just that situation of hurry up, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the damn ball. Browning he just wasn't processing fast on Saturday.
Exactly. All right, we've been on for 38 minutes here. Let's keep rolling here. All right.
Thank you, Big Ben.
What's that?
Said thank you, Big Ben.
You're welcome. You're welcome. What was I going to say? So this is where I was at. I was so ticked off. I was like, all right, season's over. We're not going to the playoffs. And then Sunday hit, and every team that the Bengals needed to lose lost.
So outside of Buffalo, yeah.
Outside of Buffalo. But, I mean, literally, if we win the next two, which aren't going to be easy. Well, I mean, the Browns, who knows? Maybe they won't play anybody. But if we win we're in the playoffs.
Yeah. There's I think a 96% chance that the Bengals win out. Very specific. I think there's only like one scenario. It has to do with the Steelers winning out and the Bills winning out to get the number 1 seed or to get the number 2 seed. They would overtake the Dolphins, and I don't know, but the very specific set of circumstances that the Bengals would miss out if they win out.
I got a question for you, and I've put this out there like, hey, the Bengals still have hope and make the playoffs. Most people are like, yeah, let's go for it. I've had some people going, why would we want to make the playoffs? We're just going to go there and get our ass kicked. Well, I'm like, one, you don't know that. Two, you get in the playoffs, you never know. And why would you not want to make the playoffs? Because the difference between barely missing the playoffs and making it, as far as draft goes, is one spot.
You're talking just a handful of spots. You're drafting the same group of players.
You're not improving yourself either way you go. So,
and if you win it, then it's exciting as hell, and you're still playing. You're playing in the second round.
Right. That's why I understand where people are kind of arguing on Facebook, like, they should just tank it. Well, one, again, they're not going to tank. They're professional players. They're not going to tank. And two, why, as a fan, why the hell would you not want to make the playoffs? Like, I want to make the playoffs every year. I mean, look, the 5 years that we made the playoffs when that guy was the quarterback, it was fun as hell. the way the season ended sucked every year.
Yeah.
People would ask you, I would get this conversation where like, well, would you rather, have a great season and fall apart in the playoffs, or just have a sucky year all year? I said, I'd rather have a great season and fall apart. I mean, because at least you have the whole year. I mean, trust me, I've went through terrible years after terrible years after terrible years.
We've watched a lot of sucky years.
Yeah, there's no fun in that. I'm like, why anybody would rather? Well, you just get my hope. Well, you just get my hopes up. Like, well, dude, I'm a Cincinnati fan. Like, my hopes have been up and crushed more times than I can mention here because of my teams do that all the time.
Shawshank Redemption is the perfect movie for Bengals fans, and most of us are like Red, where hope is a dangerous thing. It'll drive a man to insanity. So, there are people like you that are more that are super optimistic, a lot more optimistic than cynical, grumpy, grouchy ass me. That are the Andy Dufresne, and hope is a great thing. It's the best thing. But yeah, I mean, we lived through a lot of shitty football. It's better to watch the 2011 to 2015 Bengals, knowing that they're going to crap the bed when the playoffs come. But
there's always hope they wouldn't.
It's one more week of watching football,
right? Exactly.
And the Reds suck. Like they were decent during that stretch, but that means
honestly, both during that stretch, both of them would have great regular seasons. They'd suck in the playoffs. Both of them did. The Reds and Bengals.
Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was 2012, 2013. Mm-hmm. It's been since 1990 when both teams made the playoffs and advanced.
Yep.
It's been since 1995 since the Reds advanced, which is
1995. I was 25 years old. That was a long damn time ago. All right, let's get to some year-end awards here. Let's go. And then I'm gonna steal this from and chat. And you guys can give us some of yours too. I'll steal this from Lance McAllister. You put it out there on Facebook. But your MVP of the entire Cincinnati sports landscape, from FC to the Reds, Bengals, Bearcats. Throw Xavier out there if you're for Xavier fans.
No, let's not do that. There are two of them, and they might get upset that I picked the wrong guy. So,
I think you and me will be on the same page here. But I'll let you go. Who's your MVP?
Easy. The guy who won MVP, Lucio Acosta.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing for me. It's got to be Lucio Acosta because, obviously he won the MVP and they had the best season ever. I mean, they won every freaking award. They won Coach of the Year, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year,
Goalkeeper of the Year, two guys on the best 11, Save of the Year, Goal of the Year.
Whenever they accept the championship, which is like so inside. But for me, that would be my MVP. Runner up. Well, I'll put it this way. I won't go for our up. Well, let's go with newcomer of the year. And we'll probably have the same person there too. I'm gonna go first this time. You got to pick somebody else, or you can't pick the same people.
That's fine. That's fine.
Right. I'm going with Ellie De La Cruz. Newcomer of the year, most electrifying man in baseball, lit this city up for an entire summer when he got here. That's the guy for me. Good.
I will go with his Keystone combo partner, Matty Bats, Matt McLean.
Yes, sir. Matty Bats.
These steady. I mean, he's going to be a guy who's going to be worth 4 or 5 WAR every year for the next 5-6 years. I mean, probably even longer.
Out of the three guys we talked about, Marte, Ellie, and Matty Bats, I think Matty Bats is going to be the most consistent.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he doesn't have the ceiling that the other guys do, but his floor is so much higher than 90% of the major leaguers out there. I just think he's fantastic. He plays great defense. He's fast. I think he's incredibly fast. He was in the 90th percentile for sprint speed. He struck out a little more than I think we expected, which is something he's going to work on, but hit a 129 OPS plus, 864 OPS as a rookie who absolutely got screwed on the strike zone. I mean, his strike zone is the size, like, imagine Webster standing at home plate. That's what a strike zone should be. Instead, he was getting stuff called at his nipples as strike. Like, that's not a strike.
That's the thing Ellie has.
Ellie was getting stuff at his ankles because that's Matt McLean's nose.
Right. It's like, Ellie can't hit that.
Right.
Well, he might be able to hit it. I don't know.
Will Benson got a lot of those, too. I mean, tall guys get hosed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So that is the newcomer of the year. Let's go with play of the year. What do you got for that one? That was a little more.
I can do it no justice because you need John Sadak.
That ball had a Exactly.
And there are several because I think all of the plays of the year kind of go with the Reds because when the Reds were rolling, that they were just the most exciting thing out there. I got to go with Will Benson's walk-off home run. That was Ellie's. They have Ellie's debut, and absolutely hammers it. First major league home run, hits the shit out of it. And then he just absolutely hyped up, slams the bat down, almost hits Ellie because Ellie's jumping over the railing.
Right.
And I tried to read his lips. I tried, like, what he was screaming.
Let's
but the
go,
team.
you blackity black.
It was like, it's my fault, and he's just so hyped. I think he's underrated in terms of one of the guys that at least for last year. I don't know, who knows what the future, like he's only been here 1 year, but in terms of like the heart of the team.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys. Whether you want to call that a leader or not, probably I think heart's different than a leader, but he's the heartbeat guy. I mean, you saw him absolutely the most jacked up and hyped when Ellie came in after he stole second, third, and home. But
his face is like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
but
I can't believe what I just saw.
His walk-off home run, I think that was the most exciting moment to me, even more than Ellie's Ellie's first home run or his triple or the cycle.
Yeah, when Willie did that, I came up with the nickname Willie Be Bad. That's why I started calling him that.
Yeah,
that's a bad mofo right there when he does that. But for me, play of the year is Rumble in the Jungle. Sam Hubbard's.
That was still this calendar year.
Yep, that was the playoffs. Yep, 2024. I was at that game. I thought I was going to have a damn heart attack. I was jumping up and down, screaming so loud I started seeing spots. I couldn't believe because to me I'm like that's the immaculate reception. Those plays never go for the Bengals. This is going to be our year, and then we go to Kansas City.
So my ceiling, my main level of my house, where my living room is, the ceiling isn't very tall. I can hit it, like I can touch it just standing, and so I'm jumping up and I'm punched the ceiling, and my knuckles were so red. Like when it's really like ow.
Kind of like I was doing this. Kind of like I did the other night when I was doing the Madden on the VR. I was throwing the ball and I hit the freaking ceiling. You saw that video. I was like, ow. So, yeah, but that was me. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, you can go check it out. It's on Facebook and Rumble. By the way, guys, if you are watching the show, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to Facebook, or not subscribe to Facebook. Subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to Rumble. Hit the thumbs up. Share the video everywhere. I'd appreciate it. All right, let's wrap this thing up here with Coach of the Year. Definitely not Satterfield. He's out. You got Zach. You got David Bell and the coach for the
Pat Noonan.
Pat Noonan, thank you. They had the best year. You gotta go with Pat Noonan. I think. I mean, he won the coach of the year for the MLS. I mean. You got another one?
I'm going Zach Taylor. This season, the fact that the Bengals, with all the crap that went wrong, Bengals did not have Joe Burrow at full strength for any division game. So yeah, being 0-5 in the AFC North absolutely sucks ass. And that's what, if they miss out on the playoffs, that's what sunk them. I mean, they'll be 0-5, maybe even 0-6 when they play the Browns. But the fact that this team is
one AFC game. One.
They've got 3
AFC games. Who?
Yeah, they won 3 AFC games. Oh, you Burrow healthy for AFC? What are we talking about?
Who did they beat the AFC for? They beat up on the NFC West. Who did they beat the AFC?
Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Buffalo. Oh, by the way, 3 teams that are heading to the playoffs or in the hunt for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Why was I thinking 1? All right, never mind.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, for all the complaining about the play, for all the issues about the play calls and everything, and I'm in on them, and we've gone in on them a lot on my show. I've gone in on them before here, but the fact that they've taken a backup quarterback and they've had, they've been lucky for, yes, Augie, you my boy, man. I appreciate you.
Farf. I'm my own best friend. I'm Farf.
I'm a Mog. Half man, half dog.
We always get a
where was I? Yeah.
Zach Taylor.
Yes. Bengals. I like the Bengals. That's where it was. But yeah, I mean, they're technically what? 3-2 and 3 or 3-2. I mean, since Burrow's gone down, we thought the season was over. That they're facing murderers. Or who's the easiest team they were going to face down the stretch? The Steelers, and the Steelers are the 2 teams that beat the shit out of them. Yeah, exactly. They're the team that's beaten them since Burrow went out.
I mean, it's not only Joe Burrow. I mean, T's been hurt. Chase has been hurt. DJ Reader is
DJ
out.
Reader
Juice has been
missing
out.
a month with Cam Taylor-Britt.
Yeah.
I mean, every team goes through injuries. I mean, look at all the backup quarterbacks we've been playing down the stretch.
Everybody's got a backup quarterback this year.
Exactly, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But for him to keep the team, and even with the slow start, this is because he brought in the right guys. He has the right team that has bought in. Like they're not, the season isn't going the way. Even when they were playing, like even before Burrow went out for the year, the season wasn't going right. But the team was still out there busting their ass, and the guys are. I think they're not that they're playing harder. You don't like they're not that they weren't playing hard before Burrow went out, but they had this double effort, or this almost redoubled effort since Burrow went out. Like, no, we're not going out like that. We're still going to fight. We're going to make the fucking playoffs. If it's Jake Browning, if it's Eric Wilhelm, if it's Donald Hollis, we're making the fucking playoffs.
Joe Farfsing. We're making
Exactly.
But
more left-handed quarterbacks, please.
that is a great point, and that's one thing that I have absolutely loved. Zach gets so much hate in this town sometimes, but I've actually loved the coaching job he's done this year because of what he's had to go through. Of losing his quarterback, losing his top two wide receivers, losing his best run stopper, losing his I'm not going to say arguably his best DB in Cam Taylor-Britt. I mean, he's lost all these guys, and they are still in it. I mean, say what you want. Yeah, we haven't. They see that not going. They were close to the way we thought it would, but this is probably Zach Taylor's best coaching job, I think, by far. So I do agree with you as far as that goes, and that's the thing. It's like, did you see Chase's comments or that he was giving yesterday at his locker? He's pissed.
He's playing like first up, like there was the question. They were like, he's listed as questionable. It's kind of a game time decision. You're not going to go out there and run your damn mouth if you're not almost 100% positive that you're going to be out there playing on Sunday morning, because that is a bad and a weak look.
He's playing.
If you're out there running your mouth, these guys don't do anything that impress me. And my shoulder sore, so I'm not playing.
Yeah, no, he's playing.
He's wholly expecting, and unless he comes out there and someone like bumps into his shoulder out in warm-ups, and he's like, "Oh shit, that hurts. I can't go." He's going to be out there even if it's for one drive.
I mean, I'm with Augie. I'd be shocked if he doesn't play. And that's the thing, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the both. That's the difference between last week and this week. The Bengals weren't desperate. Yeah, if we won, we're in the playoffs. But they weren't. It wasn't desperate. They're desperate. This is it. I mean, this is guys on shirt. This is it. And I know they've been circling this game to go back to Arrowhead and beat the shit out of these guys.
Yeah.
Because of what happened last year.
Yeah.
I know, and they can't. And they've talked, because everything keeps talking about how much the Bengals talked last year leading up to the game. The Chiefs have talked so much, and their fans have talked so much trash. It's not even funny. I mean, I've gotten so much hate from Chiefs fans. It's ridiculous.
It's the fans, and it's everybody. I mean, there are plenty of Bengals fans, and I mute a lot. Like, I see them on my timeline, and I just mute them just because I get kind of tired of it, of just the engagement with just talking crap about other teams. Every team has a bunch of obnoxious fans.
Cool, but
right?
Trying to be a dick about it.
But it's like guys that are pointing at or making kind of making fun when someone gets injured. Like if you unless it's Deshaun Watson. There's no need to make light of anybody getting hurt or be like, haha, your season, haha, you got injured, or I hope he gets hurt and stuff like that. That makes you kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
If you're going out of your way to talk shit to you, Jeff, I mean, you're nothing but positive. Like you give a little bit of shit, but if they're going out of the way to talk, just
they've been hammering me. Well, not as much as they were at the beginning of the year, but yeah, they were hammering the hell out of me because they kept calling it Burrowhead.
Right.
Like I said, it's not my fault you named your stadium Burrowhead, and now you changed it to Browning Head. I mean, make up your mind. It's Burrowhead or it's Browning Head. I mean,
but it's go touch grass. And then you look at anything that the Bengals social media account posts, and the first handful of comments are just by troll. This is what you do with your life when you see a team that you consider a rival or you don't like, to post something. You immediately have to go just shit post or where have you gone wrong? What did your parents do or not do? Did you have
loved as a child?
Did you have an uncle who was too touchy? I mean, did mommy and daddy just not give a shit about you? What is the problem? I will talk. I'll joke around if I know you, or Tim Daniel, who hosts Late Night Reds with us. He's a Xavier fan, and I'm a UC fan. So I'll joke. I'll joke with him.
Yeah,
and I'll joke. But I mean, it's. if I say crap about Xavier, we're talking about like, oh, how's your football play? Like, I'm joking with him. Like I'm not, but I mean, these are just random people that are like just trying to piss people off. Like, what are you doing? Like, go do something. Step outside. My God, go have a beer with a friend. Right.
They don't have any friends. They're all in
or get out of your parents' basement or something. That's the old thing is like, oh, you're kid living in your parents' basement, but go. If your goal is to be an asshole, what does that say about you? I don't get it.
Mission accomplished because they're being assholes.
Right.
All right, Joe, you've been on for 56 minutes, man. I appreciate you coming on. This has been a lot of fun. Like I said, I check out the new stuff here. Like I said, thanks to my daughter's boyfriend, Austin, who's standing up. He's really tall. Dude, I actually found somebody taller than me. I hate that. He's like 6'5". It's annoying. I don't like that.
By the way, you need to check out some of this gear. You ever seen Pitching Ninja on social media? Rob Friedman? He does a lot of basically he points out all kinds of awesome like pitchers and pitches and like stupid swings during the season. He has the coolest ass logo. I've got a bunch of his gear. Yeah, go check it out. I got a hat. I got this pullover. It's cool stuff, man. It's the coolest logo. It's not quite as cool as you holding a strawberry microphone.
Are you like this?
Close to your mouth, but yeah,
right here.
Yeah, like that. But I mean, it's really damn cool.
All right, Joe. Hey, plug something before I let you go, brother.
Bengal show again. We just had Richard Skinner on from Local 12, one of the original Two Angry Guys. I missed that show.
I do too.
Tom Gamble, like I know he has all his stuff with high school sports. Anyway, we had him on with us. It's on YouTube, youtube.com/RiverfrontCincy. We're the only show going on this week on our channel because everyone else is off for the weekend because Greg and I are dedicated to bringing you the best in Bengals coverage here.
No, it means you have no lives.
That's exactly it. So check us out, subscribe, all that fun crap.
All right, man. Well, Happy New Year, and
Happy New Year, brother.
See you next year. We got some cool stuff coming up. I got some more potential interviews with some Reds players, so I'm pretty excited about it. So
dope.
As soon as I get them locked down, I'll be announcing them, and I might invite you and Tim to jump on with me.
Happy to do it.
All right, brother. Happy New Year, bro. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. This is really weird. It's still weird seeing all of this instead of just my face. That's where I'm like, I don't know. It's like it's tripping me out. I like it though. Looks good. Looks good. We got Paul here for you. Just a note. I spent a month in Kansas City for work, and the wind. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. It is the windiest damn place I've ever been in my entire life. It was so frick cold because it was windy. It was annoying. Anyway, just what like I said. Shout out to everybody who's been watching for over the past year. Been doing this for 5 years. It'll be 6 years. Sometime in January, we're having an anniversary show. Check me out on Rumble. That's a new thing we added this year. Got a lot of cool stuff coming from ZTV. I'm going to add some more cameras in here. Like I said, I got some potential Reds interviews. We are going to, believe it or not, we're going to interview Adam Sandler. That's going to be in March 3rd or 5th. I can't remember when it is. As right now, it's going to be on the phone. We're trying to get it so it'll be video, but that is coming out as well. And we got some other cool things I'm working on as well. So appreciate you guys sharing the show, liking the show. Check me out. Thanks to ZTV, like I said, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Rumble, all the Sports Strawberry Ice. I'll be pulling this out later on tonight. Put it on the podcast. Check it out. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Other than that, you guys have a happy new year, and I'll see you in 2024. And that's just sports.